don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little had my looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Carolina Panthers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, McCaffrey found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Back to throw. McIntyre. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Detroit!
Operating from the gun, McIntyre. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Matt Ioannidis in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be fourth down. On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Nice play, baby. Nice play. Hurry up. Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
3rd and long for Mayfield. It's brought in by Dodson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Hurry up. Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Flexing his muscle at the 30. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, McIntyre. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, right? A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a handoff looking right. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
Detroit!
When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, McIntyre. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down. McIntyre. Throw left side complete. It's Delgado. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, McIntyre. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. McIntyre. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Lucky 56. 59, Mike. Gun.
On 3rd down, McIntyre. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
Back near his goal line. Here's Mayfield. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense? We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Mayfield. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
2nd down, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Set. Blue 90.
Mayfield on play action. Airing one out for Crowder. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Switch. No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Redskins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Gun, gun! Over!
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Back to throw. McIntyre. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw. McIntyre. He can run for it, and he will. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returning, it's Benjamin. And Benjamin seems to be in some pain. You see him there, still down. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Redskins on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield looks to throw, eluding the pressure right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Richardson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
First down, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this throw will be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now let's go. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Right back to him on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey.
On third down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw on second down. McIntyre. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on second down. Now they got to come up with something big here on third.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on third and long. McIntyre. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. A perfectly executed crossing route. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Elsewhere, second half action at Heinz Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, McIntyre. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Throwing again. McIntyre. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on third down. McIntyre. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Shaq Thompson able to put an end to that play, and in so doing, put an end to this third quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield to throw it. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Redskins on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and a mile.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield on third down from his end zone. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. This is McCaffrey on the give. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and the Redskins scoop it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, two-score game, so hold on here. Not done in the fourth. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the pressure gets to him again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield now. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Davis forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's second and 20.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing on third and long. McIntyre, a bullet throw, but incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Mayfield on first down. Fighting to stay upright, being chased out left, forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. His throw incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, here we go.
Here's Mayfield. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Set. Green 39.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. On 1st and 10, McIntyre. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. To throw again, McIntyre. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Key to tight end. 3 down, 3 down. Watch twist. Over.
On 3rd and 2, McIntyre. It's complete on a bubble screen. That's Delgado. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Clock running as the Redskins try to hurry up.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. To throw, Mayfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught inside the 10. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Back to throw. McIntyre. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Gano the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
And it's a fumble. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the first quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39!
Following the fumble recovery, McIntyre. This is caught, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Single. Hey, I got number 80. Set! 3, 19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
Here we go now.
One last shot for Mayfield here. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Carolina, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.